And here we go, it's time for the boss, Operation 007.
Roger!
I don't quite know what I was doing faffing about on the menu screen, but we will, let it go. Just turn away and slam the door, you know? So yeah, as I was saying, Operation 007 is really short in comparison to the other operations because you only have a single operation and then the boss. And the boss is really short, as you can see. But it's also really fun. Like, really sillily fun. Sillily's not even really a word, but oh well. I'm just going to make up my words now as we go. I mean, I'm perfectly sure that some of the words that they've used to describe the radars in this game have been made up. Although maybe not. They just sound made up. But here we have the nano bioweapon, Vicky. You may have noticed his chest area, which has got a very, very obvious claw opening thing, but still.
Dude, it's freaking ginormous.
No, it is we who are miniaturized.
What? The hard way? You mean we'll get big again inside here? Our target, the nanovirus Vicky, is in sight. Team, unite up!
Wait a sec. Who are you? Peace Dad? Oh, dude, don't scare me like that. I thought we were really in trouble.
Actually, Blue, I think I am sufficiently surprised at the failure of the Nano Excel.
So yes, that right there means that we are in trouble. And we pretty much do have a sort of time limit, really.
Hey, this is kind of a sweet ride, don't you think?
Indeed, walking around this body with such small legs was making me quite tired.
And now it's time to take this sweet ride and put some antibodies in this body. What do you think, boss?
Good idea, Blue. If we use P-Star to get around, we should have an easier path towards completing the mission.
Red, we shall follow your lead. On your command.
Roger. Wonderful Ones. And Chugi and Company. Oh, and P-Star. Team, engaging unlimited form.
Here we go. So, yes, we get to fly around on P-Star for this boss fight. It's quite cool. And also, in the grand scheme of things, Vicky is really easy. Like, insanely so in comparison to all of the other bosses in the game. So basically, you just gotta kind of move around, keep your lock on him, and just kind of fire both kind of the rapid shots and missiles at him. And that basically equates for the start of our fight, really. Although sometimes it's a bit difficult to tell where the hell he is. Apart from, you know, the blinking arrow, but sometimes catching up to him is easier said than done. Yeah, I have to say this kind of entire section kind of reminds me of like the all-range mode in Star Fox. Like pretty much, this really does remind me of like kind of fighting Andros in the game. It's not quite similar because P-Star's not quite as rigid in where he has to go. So pretty much you were always going to be facing forwards to attack Vikey rather than kind of sliding past him accidentally. However, I mean, once you've got him into the inside bit, he can kind of take a lot of damage. I mean, basically you're just going to want to whip out those Unite Morphs and rule. Also, make sure to get that Naginata out, because that is going to help you out immensely. Not necessarily when you are kind of actually physically attacking him, because the Naginata is somewhat weak in that respect. But in the grand scheme of things, the Naginata is very, very helpful. As I mean you'd probably expect, because it's been useful throughout the entirety of this operation, so it's always good. Now the time limit bit of the boss hasn't arrived just yet, but obviously, I mean in general the fight's really not that long, because like he just goes down really, really quickly in the grand scheme of things. I'd say if anything he's probably, potentially, one of the easiest bosses to kind of do well on. Because he just opens himself up to so much. I mean, like, if you kind of fling back those drills, that's something good for you, and if you kind of reflect them, then they're extra bits for you. It just works out all around, really. Now, I don't think that you're going to be in this kind of position for long, because you're not, because he will throw you back out after a while. It really does just depend how long you take to kill him. I mean, I think it's perfectly possible to defeat him in one fell swoop at this, but it's also very equally possible to not be able to defeat him in one fell swoop, and then have to kind of bring some more hurt on him. Although I'd argue this bit's quite fun anyway. And already we're over halfway through the boss battle. Or at least, I mean, technically, we're on to the second third of the boss fight. But this is, I'd say, the last serious bit. Yeah, if Vikey thinks he's getting away, he's got nothing coming. Also, do look after P-Star's health bar during this, because that goes down, you are getting a game over. And obviously, you really don't want that. As I've said many times before, there is literally only one operation where I was just like, sod it, I will take a death, because it's so evil. This, on the other hand, is just quite nice, so you really shouldn't have too much of a hassle, although it's certainly easily possible to lose a lot of health on P-Star without really realising it. But something that's also quite funny about Vikey is that he has an extra achievement associated with him. So once we have gotten out of this particular phase of the battle, and gotten into the final phase, basically, as long as you defeat Vikey without letting him grow big, you will get the bottle cap. And don't worry, you're going to see it in all its awesome glory. tables have turned, Vikey. Take this. I have to say, this finisher is just so cool. I mean, just flying all over his body and just slashing him to pieces. It's just great fun. And so, we're exiting Vorken's body and entering the final phase of our battle against the nanobio weapon. How can this fight get any more ridiculous, you may ask? Well, you're about to find out. We're fighting on the keyboard. Oh yes.
Looks like it wants to play. Time to get all Valiantium up in this bug.
Let us end this at once.
Roger. Team, unite up.
Roger.
So this is basically every single fight that you have ever faced up until this point. Vikey is really easy to defeat. You've just got to kind of just put the hurt on him, really. He doesn't really put up a whole much of a fight. And what's even better is that after a certain kind of time frame, a key will appear on the screen there, and if you stand on that key, you will get bigger. And thereby cause even more pain to Vikey. Now, this is the point where you've got to make sure that you kill him very quickly, because if you don't, then there is the possibility that he will grow and you will not get the bottle cap. Which it's very easy to happen, but thankfully I rule so much that I defeated Vikey before I grew small again, so it's just like, oh yes. And now we get one of the most hilarious finishes in the game.
Right there, dude, by your feet. Squash that sucker.
And so, we get the harder they fall, which is the one for not letting it grow big. Take that, Vikey. And Vorken's okay. Yay, Vorky!
Where am I?
On the Virgin Victory, son. We just went through a scale model of Hades to get rid of the nano bioweapon those jerks implanted in your body.
In my body? That parasite is history. Not that I would have minded letting it finish what it started, but it's all good, dude. Immorta was here holding your hand the whole time you were out. Immorta?
These brave men risked their lives to save yours. As did Chugi, and the rest.
They did? Oh.
Don't. You have to rest.
We merely paid our debt to the wonderful Won-stoppable. When I think of the cruelties you visited upon us, I'd as soon kill you myself. Vorken, there is no undoing what you have done. But maybe, just maybe, you can use this second chance to make peace with yourself. I know we will be trying to do the same. Goodbye, Earthlings. Perhaps we will meet again.
Thanks for everything, Chugi. You're a brave warrior with a noble heart.
No, thank you.
Ah, such sadness. Must you leave so soon?
We hope your homes will soon be back to their former glory. Team, salute.
Farewell, dear friends from the depths of space. May luck follow wherever you lead.
Emergency. Emergency. Wonderful Won-stoppable, report to the bridge immediately.
Another attack?
Team, to the bridge! Double time!
Roger!
Margarita plasma particle density has dropped to 53%. The Blossom City area is not receiving any coverage.
Commander Nelson, what does it mean?
It means Margarita has been compromised, and there's a gaping hole in our defenses directly over Blossom City. The Geathjerk invasion is on.
Whoa, check it out.
Oh, surely this will incarn nature's wrath! I want my mama!
They can only be after one thing.
The Sentinel's nerve center. Mother Platinum.
It's happening again, Immorta. And now surrender is the only hope for the people of Dearth.
No.
And on that very ominous note, Operation 007 is complete. We get the bottle cap Itty Bitty Invader for defeating Vikey. And it's time for us to head on to Operation 008. I told you this game got really serious as you got later into it, and now it's very serious. I mean, things basically just got all Man of Steel up in his house, I guess is the way I'm going to describe it. Yeah, things are serious. Blossom City is under attack, and we need to do our best to save it.
Unite Spikeball.
Because I have to say, I'm not having these Geathjerk scum invade our planet. Thank you very much. So, we're going to sort them out next time, when we begin Operation 008.